and let us all do we can to build a better future.
So Piers Morgan, I've talked about him on my show where he's had individuals who went to bat for Gaza, most notably Bassem Youssef, who not once but twice, I think, kind of put Piers Morgan check and mate. All right, so there you go. I think that's the best way to describe just how powerful comedy can be. Because when a comedian can really stop and let's be clear, no one has to like him, but someone who's been in the business for a long time, somebody like Piers Morgan at pause because he didn't know how to react to it, being laughing or just being uncomfortable. Bassem Youssef knew how to hit a home run homer. However, he had Jeremy Corbyn on his show. And I would say at this time, Piers seemed to be a little bit perturbed. So let's go and pull up this video and check it out. Okay, let's just go find out what's going on. And I want to give a huge shout out to the individual, Mahid Freeman. Thank you so much for tweeting us out. Let's go ahead and play this video for the people and find out what is going on.
It's not your show, it's mine. And I keep asking you the same question. Would you keep Hamas in power?
What I said was there has to be a ceasefire. A ceasefire has to be both sides. That ceasefire will then hopefully develop into a longer-term peace.
Well, you think Israel can do...
Hang on a minute.
You think Israel can do peace with Hamas?
Israel has been talking to Hamas for 20 years.
You think they can do peace with them after October the 7th?
They've been listen, October the 7th was abominable and appalling. That we're agreeing.
And you think Israel can do peace with people that did that?
I managed to get 2 sentences in between.
Because you won't answer my question.
Look, if you want to have a discussion, fine.
Answer my question.
If you want to just shout at me, that's your prerogative, your TV, your show.
Should Hamas stay in power?
Listen,
Now, you would think he would listen to what Bassem Youssef said about Hamas. Like, look, you condemn Hamas, I condemn Israel. Guess what? Nothing changes, right? So the thing is, I think Piers Morgan might have had some brain damage and might have forgotten just a little bit about what exactly him and Bassem Youssef were talking about. So. Jeremy, I think you're holding well, but I think you need to do some comedy to really upend Piers' show right here. So I guess Piers isn't listening.
What I said was a ceasefire means a ceasefire. It means both sides have to cease.
Yeah.
It means you then.
No, you said that. Should Hamas stay in power? It's actually
you done yet?
It's actually a critical question.
Are you done yet?
It's a critical question.
Are you done yet?
No, it's the question.
Are you done yet?
Should they stay in power?
Are you done yet?
This country says they're a terror group. Do you agree? And should they stay in power?
Listen, I do not approve, support, or welcome Hamas.
Are they a terror group?
Everybody knows what they are.
Are they a terror group?
Look, Piers,
can you say it?
Piers, can we have a discussion?
Can you say it?
Can we have a discussion?
Can you call them a terror group? Jeremy?
Can we have a discussion?
Can you call them a terror group?
Is it possible to have a rational discussion?
Are you prepared to call Hamas a terror group?
Is it possible to have a rational discussion with you? Is it possible? Come on, answer that question.
You can't, can you?
You answer it.
No, it's my show. You answer my question.
Well,
are Hamas a terror group?
Listen,
Are they a terror group?
Piers, can I speak?
Answer the question?
Can I speak?
Are they a terror group?
Piers,
no.
If you let me speak,
are they a terror group?
If you'll let me speak, I'll say something.
Go on then.
A ceasefire means both sides.
You said that. Are they a terror group?
Listen, I said that.
Are they a terror group?
Part of the process.
Let's just look at this real quick.
But I don't know how else Israel can eradicate Hamas than the way that they're currently trying to do it. Do you have an alternative for them?
Well, again, we are locked in the same thing. What can we do now? But we don't look at what was happening over there. The best recruiter for Hamas is Israel. I mean, you have talked a lot about the horrible condition in Gaza. Yeah. I mean, let's imagine like a little boy called Rami. He lives in Gaza. He have a horrible life, but it's not that bad. I know he has a cousin in the West Bank. He's living a good life. He wake up in the morning and he found out that he was kidnapped by 3 settlers. He was burned alive by kerosene and he was forced to drink the kerosene. His name was Muhammad Abu Khudair. That settlers did that to him in 2016. So, all right, you know what? I'm just going to leave. I'm going to find a way to go to Europe. His aunt is a published author, and she won a prize in the Frankfurt Book Fair. His name is Adniyah Shtaleb. And now she was canceled because of what's happened, just because of her a Palestinian. His other aunt in America. His name Amawi. She is a speech therapist, and this is close to my heart because of my son. And she was fired because she did not want to sign the government contract that said that you cannot join BDS, which I don't understand. Why do people choosing to protest peacefully by not buying goods from a certain country? Why would the United States make that its own issue? So, and this guy, this Rami is being approached by him, like, join Hamas, join us, let's go kill Israel. No, I don't want to kill. I'm going to live in Gaza. It's a life. But
my apologies. When I do clip this video, I will be raising up the volume of this, but I do have another video as well as what Bassem Youssef is saying. So again, folks, notice it's a clear response, and Piers is listening. For this video that will be clipped, the volume will be intensified.
87% of water is not good for human consumption. Half of the population are anemic. Even the is not being treated, and it goes into the shores of Israel. It's like, oh, those
which is horrendous.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
So, and then he wakes up in the morning. He doesn't think about killing Jews the first thing in the morning. He thinks about being there at 5 o'clock at the first 50 people in the line for bread, because if he doesn't, he will miss the food for his family. And he goes back and he finds a message saying that we are going to bomb your house. He comes back, he loses his whole family. Now tell me, what is a proportionate response for that?
I don't know.
You cannot create terrorism and then you...
I don't know.
I want to pull up this video here as well, because we're returning right back to Jeremy Corbyn versus Piers Morgan.
Terrorism is not like a ghost. We have to cease fire right now, because there's no point of like killing civilians every day. Because here's the thing. Let's say, for example, that Israel is right. Oh, we need to eradicate Hamas. You have killed like almost 15,000 civilians today. How many Hamas fighters have you created?
Wow.
15,000 people.
Yeah.
Plus 20,000 people injured. Now, this is like a total of 35,000, 40,000 people who have families, who have brothers, who have sons, we have fathers. How many people have you radicalized? Right? For every person you kill, you create more Hamas fighters. Those Hamas fighters that you claim that you're killing, don't they have family? They want to avenge them, right? So the whole idea of like, oh, let's eradicate terrorism is not like a ghost. It's not like these are people. And before saying that, like calling them terrorists, you look at the daily condition that you've put in. Like this is like the biggest open air, not prison, because you go to prison if you did something wrong. This is the biggest open air concentration camp in the world. And it's like, it's not an occupation, yes, because the world have never seen anything like this. And the fact that this has been happening day in, day out since 1967, it is an atrocity.
That's phenomenal. Now, I didn't want to interrupt because everything he was saying was very true. So let's switch it right back here. Night and day. Jeremy Corbyn versus Piers Morgan. My goodness, Piers, be a little bit more professional. Can you let your guests talk?
Are they a terror group?
Can we go?
Why can't you say it?
Piers, can we go through what ought to be happening?
Just answer my question.
Why do you think
Are Hamas a terror
nations
group?
in the world are calling for a ceasefire?
Are
Why do you
Hamas
think
a
that?
terror group?
Come on, answer that. Answer me.
No,
You've
it's
got
not
someone-
your...
Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. All Jeremy Corbyn has to say, because I understand where Jeremy Corbyn's coming from, but he's not helping out his position, where he should just say, hey, look, they're an institution that Israel has been talking to. They are an institution and a representation of Gaza that Israel has been in open talks to for years, even before October 7th. I know, shocking. Somehow they've been talking to them. So you could just say, hey, look, no, I don't see them as a terror group. That's what Jeremy Corbyn could say. But, when it comes down to primetime television, I guess shouting is just the go-to operation for everybody. Jeremy, you should have been taking some notes the way Bassem Youssef was talking to Piers Morgan. That's all I could say, because that was so effective. Because the way Bassem Youssef owned Jeremy Corbyn the first time he was on the show was phenomenal. Piers Morgan was quiet. He made him look uncomfortable. Of someone who's been in the business for years. That's what you got to use, and that's the art of comedy. Now, Jeremy Corbyn also didn't do himself any favors the previous years, where he more or less let people in power and other institutions just run him all over. This is why you got to have a backbone and spine. This is why you got to kind of have the attitude of, I don't give an F. Remember that. Who says you don't learn anything here at Hardlands Media?
So
You've got so many opinions.
why should I answer yours when you won't
day.
answer mine?
Why do you give out your opinions all day and every day?
Are Hamas,
You don't like it
are
when somebody
Hamas,
pushes it back on.
are Hamas a terror group? Yes or
Well,
no?
you won't like it when somebody
Yes or
pushes
no?
back on you. What I've said is,
I've asked you two questions. Should Hamas stay in power and are they a terror group? You're refusing to answer either of them. That is very telling. And you wonder,
it's not very
and you
telling at all.
wonder
It's
why
not-
people think you had a
it's
problem
not
with
very
Jewish
telling
people.
at all.
Right?
What is very
You wonder.
telling is your inability to keep.
What I also find interesting too is it wasn't too long ago where a lovely human rights lawyer named Miss Goldstein went on Piers Morgan's show and said, Piers, and Glenn Greenwald was there too. You've been interviewing pro-Hamas people on your show who've been spewing out pro-Hamas propaganda. And when Piers Morgan, and his defense, he said, well, name one person. He asked her not once, not twice, but 6 times. It's just a little bit different here. Jeremy, yeah, look, I know a lot of people do like Jeremy Corbyn. I get it. But he should have been a little bit more prepared and should have seen the previous other interviews that Piers Morgan did. Because otherwise, right now, he's getting dragged, okay? You don't have to like Piers Morgan, but if you're going to go on his show, look at how other guests interact. And to the best of your ability, try and see who kind of, put Piers Morgan a little bit out of his comfort zone, which is why, again, Bassem Youssef was interviewed for a second time. It's not only tactics, but it's show business too, unfortunately, folks.
Quiet for 30 seconds to allow anybody to answer a
on my
question.
show, I ask people questions.
You
and
shout at people.
Normally, they answer them. No, only when they won't answer the question.
You shout at people all the
You've
time.
deliberately not answered my question.
Piers, I've explained to you how to get rid of Hamas.
Are they a terror group, Len?
Of course, the
Thank
terror.
you. Why can't you say that?
Hang on.
You've answered it. Should they stay in power, Len?
Should they
stay in power?
No, they won't be in power.
Do you believe they should?
They won't be in.
Do you believe they should?
They won't be in.
Do you
power.
believe they should?
They won't. I don't believe.
Okay, so you've answered my question.
I believe.
It's not that difficult to say Hamas should go and they're a terror group. Why can't you, Jeremy Corbyn, answer the questions?
Ask something about the behaviour of the Israeli army and the Israeli government. Why can't you say that? Why can't you have a discussion about how a ceasefire would come about? Why can't you have a discussion about a process for the future?
Because you know why, Jeremy?
Which brings about a peace for everybody.
Because
in the
when I
region. And it does not mean that the people of Gaza
because when I repeatedly
support Hamas.
When I repeatedly ask you, are Hamas a terror organization and should they stay in power? And you are simply incapable of saying that they're a terror group and they shouldn't stay in power.
So let's get Bassem Youssef's comment on Hamas. This is one of his first interview.
Do you condemn Hamas for the atrocities? Yes, I condemn Hamas. I condemn Hamas. I condemn Hamas is the source of all evil. They're a reason for everything. And you know what? Let's for a minute imagine a world without Hamas.
Right.
What will this world look like? Let's give this word a name, and let's name this word the West Bank. Hamas has absolutely no control in the West Bank. And since the beginning of this year, only through August, 37 Palestinian kids were killed. No music festival, no paragliding, no Hamas. Since the occupation of the West Bank, 7,000 Palestinians were killed. No music festival, no paragliding, no Hamas. I can go on and on and on and on.
No, but you don't need to, because in a way you're preaching to the choir.
Do you condemn Hamas for?
Now, I do want to pull up another video here as well, because again, this is the art of comedy. The art of comedy, and really how to put somebody like Piers Morgan in their place. So let's pull up one more video. And yes, we did talk about this a few weeks ago, but I think it's important just to do that rewind time.
It's a TV host and satirist, Bassem Youssef. Bassem, it's great to have you back on the program. I wish it was under different circumstances. First of all, what is your reaction to what happened on October the 7th?
Oh, it was terrible, of course. I mean, we kind of get our news kind of also secondhand because, you know, my wife's family, they live in Gaza. They have cousins and uncles there, and their house also was bombed. We haven't been able to communicate with them for the past 3 days. Communication are lost. So we don't know actually what is the, how are they doing, but, you know, we're used to that. I mean, it's just like, It's very repetitive. We're used to that. We're used to them being bombed every time and moving from one place to the other. It's just like those Palestinians. They're very dramatic. Israel killing us, but they never die. I mean, they always come back. They're very difficult to kill. Very difficult people to kill. I know because I'm married to them.
Piers. Oh, not Piers. Oh, sorry. My apologies. Jeremy Corbyn. You should have came guns a-blazing with this, man. Like now that I see this playbook right here, are you kidding me? If I'm ever on the Piers Morgan show, I have to try and match this wit and humor. I'll try. I don't know if I will ever succeed or if that opportunity will ever happen. But this right here is pure gold.
I tried many times. Couldn't kill her.
I mean, there's a
He wasn't even ready.
dark humor there, and I understand why. Because
No, it's not dark humor. I try to get to her every time, but she uses our kids as human shields. I can never take her out.
Now, the previous videos I've been playing were from both, of course, the first and second interviews in comparison to what we saw with Piers Morgan speaking with Jeremy Corbyn. Apologies for the second video. It was playing music, and I don't want to get a copyright strike, but I do want to pull up this video here, just ending it on a humorous note. It's important for us to understand and look at this entire conflict and realize that nothing is being done to solve the crisis. And unfortunately, when you have a corporate media, an establishment system that is trained to keep people enraged and hating the other, I think it's important for those that are going to be speaking out against the establishment that when they show up on these media platforms, especially giving a counterpoint to the establishment narrative, to be ready to put the hosts in an uncomfortable spot with facts, information, and yes, to an extent, humor. But you got to be knowledgeable, stoic, and have tactics in a way in which you can articulate your point of view. Now, you're not going to win everyone over, but if we look at how Bassem Youssef put Piers Morgan on the spot in the first interview, and then they had a second follow-up interview, it's like night and day to what we saw with Jeremy Corbyn, something that we all see, unfortunately, on CNN or BSDNC or Fox News. I mean, we see the pundits. We see everyone yelling at each other. Hell, you can even go on TYT and see Cenk yell at the moon. Or is maybe that his own reflection in the mirror? Who knows? But also, this is something that I've noticed, and thankfully, because I have strong editing technology here in front of me, I was at least able to capture it, but Bassem Youssef did a far more superior job. Piers Morgan, you have a lot to explain, especially for signing on and working with the Homelander. You guys might not see it, but it's that goddamn Homelander, Jeremy Corbyn. The reason why you couldn't articulate is because that goddamn Homelander was smacking you upside the head.
Superman, but they're really Homelander.
Bassem?
Wallahi, they're everybody. The earpiece. Damn. Okay. Oops. Okay. Yeah. Okay. What's your explanation? Sorry. My earpiece went down. Well, if I am in the place of Joe Biden, I would say, sorry, don't speak. Yeah.
My point is
yes.
about how he responded.
Again, I am. Fuck this.
It's that goddamn Homelander. That jag-off bastard. When I say keep your heads on a swivel, folks, keep your heads on a swivel. Anyways, point is, look, this entire crisis with Gaza, it's not going to be solved with further bombardment. All it's going to lead to is the next conflict. And corporate media, as always, no matter where in the world, is incapable of looking at the true facts on the ground. And if you are going to be going onto corporate media, be ready for a shouting match, but you can counter it through other methods. And if we look at not only just Bassem Youssef, but there were other guests on Piers Morgan's show that were able, I would say, to have a very civil back and forth discussion with Piers Morgan, to where Piers didn't just open up the tactic playbook of yell, 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 which is something we're all too familiar with, and I think we're getting all too tired with as well.